Yes, it's that time of the week again, and we are down here in the powder room. And what a beautiful audience of young ladies I have with us this evening. OK, we'll be covering a few subjects, plus talking to them later on in the show. If you want to WhatsApp us, it is 350-540-55200. Please do drop us a line, give us your thoughts and opinions on anything that goes here, or simply to say hello. You're always welcome. Anyway, girls, who do we have with us here tonight? Leslie and Karishma and Jerry, what have you been up to? I know you've been planting.
Been plant buying. My life is so exciting. I bought some plants and repotted them.
It's good for the mental health.
It is good for the mental health, it is. And I have pretty flowers on my balcony now, so I'm
That's
happy.
nice.
Makes me happy.
You, Karishma, what have you been up to lately?
I went to watch Craig David at the weekend.
Craig David?
Yes, all the way up in Marbella.
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 Just like an English person.
Yes, Marbella.
You know, it's incredible that to this day they still do not understand it's not Marbella and not paella.
Well, you know, a bit of paella in Marbella. Why not?
In Marbella. Very nice.
So, yeah.
Jerry, you went all the way to Canada to watch your country play. According to social media.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. That meant that the cost of living crisis was gone, and I was flying everywhere. No, I was also in Marbella.
Marbella.
For the
Eating paella.
No, for the Marbella Cup with the GFA under-16s.
Your daughter was playing?
She was.
And how did that go?
It went very well. There's a little bit of political side onto it. We can talk about it on another show.
For a different day.
Yes, but they did well. They came in second, and she got.
Politics is always dragged into sports, not so much the arts, funnily enough, but definitely sports.
Absolutely,
it's a thing.
thing.
Okay, right. Well, we did have a WhatsApper, if that's what you want to call him, Derek, who watches the show, and he's asked me several times to cover the subject of pensions. It is a very important one, and one that affects the community, our older generation, myself included, as I am now 60, and we want to cover that for him and for you. So let's have a look at tongue twisters, what Sir Joe Bassano had to say about the age gap.
One very welcome finding is that the number of people over 70 is the one that has had the biggest growth. As you know, I am in that number. I welcome it very much.
So what does that mean in terms of pensions?
Well, all the pension systems are in trouble, and ours is no exception, but ours is in less trouble than others. So you've got a situation where, compared to the system that was created initially, which was paid with a surplus, because you paid for 50 years, and you got paid for 5 or 6 if you were lucky. Now the numbers are the opposite, and therefore the pensions now are in a situation where they're all in serious trouble. Ours currently has got a fund which is in a slight surplus of about £7 million. As you know, there is a commitment to introduce pensions at 60 for men as well as women, which will increase the cost. But we know how to do it, and we are prepared for it, but it has to wait until the final treaty on the EU.
OK, so more on that in a second. Derek's just written in pensions in Gibraltar, especially given the rising cost of living. That's a very important point. And the challenges faced by many elderly residents, which is very real. Increasing community care support and pension amounts could significantly improve the quality of life for seniors. The government should seriously look into this issue. And I'm sure that they are. So I just want to give some facts and figures before we delve a little deeper. OK, so if we had to compare with our laws, with our education, we often turn to the UK to do so. So just to give, like, an idea of what's happening in the UK. So you can't retire unless you have a private pension and other arrangements for a state pension until you're 67 as of this last May. And it was equalised for men and women in 2018. The maximum, they pay a pension to the community every 4 weeks, not a calendar month. So they actually get 13 payments annually. It's a maximum of 1,045 and 63 pence per month for 35 years of national insurance payments, and it's a minimum of 298.78 for, and that's kind of like, when you look at it, it doesn't sound too bad, and it compares. Like Gibraltar isn't doing too well in comparison, but there's a lot of things that you don't get in the UK. Funnily enough, they pay maximum pension £4 short of the amount that you would have to pay tax on, rather avoid paying tax on, right? So if they paid you £4 more, it wouldn't be taxable. But their pensions there, yes, it's very cheeky.
Yeah, it is
their
very
pensions there are taxable.
Yeah.
So they pay tax on their pensions. We don't.
That seems a bit mean, doesn't it? Because
It does seem a bit mean.
You pay income tax when you're working and you're saving up,
Yeah.
and then you get double
taxed
tax.
on that. Exactly, it's double taxation.
So Gibraltar's maximum payout a month is £571.15 and a minimum of £148.30. We've got the age difference. Women can retire at 60, men can retire at 65. That now is being looked at, and that is going to change. Men will be able to retire at 60. But it is very real in the fact that governments are having a problem because people are living longer. So they have to be paying out pensions longer. So it is a strain on the government pocket. What are your ideas about pensions and whether it's fair, whether we should get more? We'll talk about the cost of living, though.
Well, I think when you take into account the cost of living in Gibraltar, I think when I was researching this, the surprise I had was that the government in Gibraltar have actually kept pace, more or less, with the cost of living increases that should happen every year. The problem with that is the starting number was very small. So even though you're seeing the cost of living increases, it didn't cover the cost of living in the first place.
Okay.
And that's a problem. So when you're, I think the figures that I have say that the pension together with the HCA payment, so the housing cost allowance payment, leaves a shortfall of almost 60% in what it costs to live in Gibraltar if you're not a homeowner or you're not in a government rented flat. So there's an assumption that you have somewhere to live, you've got someone to help you, or you've got something put by.
Yeah.
And this is just
And not every
fluff.
Yeah, but not
I'm
every
trying to
pensioner
keep it
does.
simple because
Yeah.
when we're talking about something like this and it comes all to numerical, but at the end of the day, if you've got nothing saved up from behind, if you had to, if your mortgage you bought late and you're still paying into your mortgage, then you're still stuck with those mortgage payments. Or if the percentage of like if it's a variable term on your mortgages, then that's going to increase. That's not going to.
Well, yeah, the 10% higher than the UK is the cost of living. I mean, it's extremely expensive in Gibraltar, and if you have to rent, for example, in my case, if you had to rent, it would take up the whole of my wage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you live? Pay the bills, buy your food, buy your clothes. How do you treat your grandchildren? How do you fly over and visit them?
Then it's a catch-22 because
because you're going to start eating into your savings, and savings for those things,
assuming you have them,
assuming you have them, are going to fly within 2.5 years, depending on what you have. And then you're literally left with the bare minimum of, it just doesn't square up. You cannot survive on these pensions. And it seems cruel in some respects. I mean, I've been working since I was 14 years old. My social insurance payments are not included until I am 21, I think it is. It's really late.
I think it's late, yeah. I think it's late,
really
yeah.
late. So you're paying into something you're going to get nothing back for if you go into the workplace early on in your life. And it's like, you have worked so hard all of your life. When you get to my age, what you want to do is start stepping back and relaxing. You've been working like a dog all these years just to struggle in your golden years. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's forced me back into the workplace because I've got no financial support. So I've got to go back into the workplace and now retire much later to be able to save as much as possible to see me through my old age. And like me, there are hundreds of people.
So can we
But
talk?
then it's difficult to get, if you make a decision at that age, getting hired is difficult.
So that was my next
Yeah.
point. So
Yeah.
it's a proven fact now that age discrimination is age discrimination has become the last taboo in discrimination. So
Yeah.
everything else is people think you can't do that. But when it comes to age discrimination, it's almost accepted that we can
Yeah.
do that. I have been round the table when there have been conversations, because I work in HR, from management that I've worked with talking about, no, he's over 50, we're not employing him. When the
This is
people
here in
Jib, when the people sitting around the table are all over 50.
Right. Not nice.
Right? But they're making a decision. So the assumptions that are made that at my age, at 60, that I'm not tech savvy, which isn't true, that I'm looking to step back, that I'm set in my ways, that I'm not willing to learn anything new. Those are the assumptions that
You
are
haven't
made.
got many years left.
And that you haven't got many years left, which is not true either.
Which is not true if you haven't got your pension.
Because it's
Or
60.
you can't afford it.
No,
It's a
but
vicious
also
cycle, isn't it?
we are living longer. We're living better longer. So we still do have something to give to the workplace.
We have a lot to give.
A lot
the
to give. And what is also ignored in those recruitment processes is the experience that they bring. But they would rather hire cheap, younger, than to bring in the experience. And then there is becoming a recruitment crisis because they're employing people who don't have the experience, and suddenly these companies are finding that everything's going wrong because we actually don't have the experience on the ground. So it's a catch-22. AI recruitment has become a huge thing now. And AI recruitment is making the discrimination worse because AI has biases.
Yeah.
And it will figure out from the experience, the length of time you've been working, when your education was, and all of those things, it will figure out that you're at a certain age and you will be automatically knocked out of the system.
So it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
Very little in the pensions
Yes, and
regards
then
to
you
be
ca-
able
and
to
you ca-
survive
yeah.
and doesn't reflect our cost of living. I mean, just going to the supermarket
Yeah, it
is
doesn't.
horrendous, you know. I mean, the bills are extortionate, what we have to pay for a tub of butter. I mean, how are our elderly, and I'm at the beginning of that road, if you like, and you are as well, by the way, Leslie. Yeah. How are our elderly managing from week to week? I mean, it's about saving since you were young, and I'll come to that with you, having the foresight to be able to take out a private pension to supplement what we get as a state pension, because the ends just can't meet.
But even then,
Well, now with workplace pensions and the laws that are coming in, that should
but that's to help
help.
this generation, not.
No, I know. But
Exactly.
That's going to help this generation.
at least
and put them
there's
in.
some
But
sort of-
But even then, the majority of work, especially small businesses who are introducing the workplace pensions, are putting in the bare minimum.
Yeah.
They're putting in 2%, which isn't going to give anybody an awful
I'm
lot.
very
But I
lucky
think-
where
I-
I am.
yeah, I
They're
think
putting
when-
in 12%.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
wow.
the smaller businesses can't do it. They can't afford
small
it.
businesses
Yeah,
It's
it's, and
can't do
because
it.
they've got a lot of turnover as well.
Yeah.
And a lot
Yeah.
of people are opting out of it because a lot of the businesses employ people from the other side, and like the Spanish people don't want to pay into the pension.
Yeah.
So
But I also think when you get to our age, we've had times during our life where marital breakups, children having to go to university and not having the money. And what happens is I've had a pension pot at some point in different places that I've ended up having to cash in
Yeah.
because I've been financially strapped.
Yeah.
I was a single parent and all this. So the prep that I may have had isn't necessarily there anymore. And the figures that I have, to comfortably live in Gibraltar now, you need to be earning about £2,200 a month.
That's
Minimum.
right.
After tax.
I have
Minimum
exactly that
after
same
tax.
figure as
Yeah,
well.
£2,200 to £3,000.
Yeah.
The state pension and the
I
HCA
think
gives
that's
you
on
about
the-
800.
I think that's on the low side. Because again, that's assuming you have somewhere to
that's-
live and
Well,
that you have...
in the UK,
Yeah.
whose cost of living is far less than ours, 1,250 per month just to cover basic food, energy, and a minimal social life,
Yeah.
assuming they fully own their home.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
But they say you have to pay things like council
Yes.
tax and whatever other...
Because
There
even
are so many
your
costs
number,
over and above.
if you look at the rentals going up now,
Yeah,
that's pretty much.
exactly.
No, it's your
Yeah.
rent. £1,200 for a one-bedroom
yeah,
flat in
exactly.
Gibraltar is about the minimum you're going to pay.
That's the
So
minimum.
that leaves you
Absolute-
£1,000
that's
to
absolute
buy
minimum.
food,
Yeah.
electricity, water, transport, and any sort of social life. So are we now going to relegate people that are over a certain age to living in their houses and not being able to leave?
Yeah.
Television costs, internet costs.
Yeah.
All of those things.
All of those
you can't
extra
do it
things.
on that.
Or they start dipping into a well-planned pension pot that they
yes.
had,
Yeah,
and then it
exactly.
just goes.
But we
we're
have-
living longer, and we
Exactly.
can't get
And we
another
can't
job
get
because
another,
nobody's
because
going to
nobody's
hire
gonna
us.
hire us.
So what's going to happen?
And I have experienced it. I have experienced it already. I was looking for work, and jobs that I have got so much experience, and not even an acknowledgement. You know, not even. And I'm hearing that story repeated over and over and over again. People starting at the age of 50.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Brian's just written in, what they should do is that those pensioners who have no other income should be given more than those who continue working or have an occupational pension. And this means-tested thing is there's some sense to that as well.
But if you
I get
spent
it,
your
says-
life
it-
putting
just
into
what I
a
was gonna say.
pension, and you've been lucky enough to have your own private pension, why should I get less when I have also paid into my pension? And I've just had better financial planning or better luck in life because I haven't had to dip into
so many
savings.
variables.
That's
I
not
think
fair
that
either.
I think there's a bit of a catch-22 in that, because people who have planned and made sure that they were covered, is it fair that they're being
penalised.
for doing that? But then in the UK, if you go into care and you've worked your entire life and you have a house, they're going to take your house to pay for your care. If you've been unemployed your entire life, you get your care for free.
Yeah.
It's the same system.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at.
Yeah.
Derek writes again, I would like to add that the government and Chamber of Commerce want people to buy in Gibraltar. So many families go to Spain to buy their food because everything is very expensive. And it is. You have to look for ways to save those pennies. I mean,
I can't
so
tell
many
you
of
how
us
much I
will
spend
shop.
on food shopping.
Sorry?
I can't tell you how much I spend on food shopping.
Well, you've got family of four.
Well, yes, but still.
Oh, six.
Family of six.
Two adults.
Yeah, 4 children.
We spend ridiculous amounts.
Ridiculous amounts.
Ridiculous. And
But
I
back-
kid you not, I think between me and my husband, we shop about 5 times a week.
I'm not surprised. I'm not. If I shop at least twice, it's...
But then the catch-22 with the pensioner who can't afford to run a car,
Yeah,
how are they going to Spain to get the shopping?
yeah.
You know,
Reliant on family
forced-
and friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really, really tough life, and people don't deserve this. They don't deserve the worry. They don't deserve the concern. They don't deserve the stress. You've worked all your life. You are owed that you can live out these last years in not living over the top, not
comfort.
asking for too much, but just
Some
in your
comfort.
minimal comfort, without any worries. It's just something that really, really needs to be addressed seriously. Girls, I wanted to ask you, because we were having a chat just before we started, and I mentioned that knowing now, if I'd known then what I know now, at around the age of 20, when I was in full, I would have started looking at a private pension. I would have started saving a little. By the time you get to my age, you would be a lot more comfortably well off. So it's not something that people think of, especially women, think of at your age. You're nodding your head. I want to ask you, can I have a mic, please, to the lady in the front with the bow there? Is this something you've thought of? Has it crossed your mind? Have you seen your grandparents struggle?
I have, yes. My grandma, my mum's mum, owns her own hairdressing salon, and she is having to work a lot longer than what she would have if she would have had a pension, because she is self-employed. So I am currently employed. I work as a nursing assistant, and the first thing that me and my mum looked at when I looked into getting a job was what could set me up in the future to have that security, so that I won't be, say, your guys' age, looking for a new job.
You can say old. Fine.
That aside,
What do you think
that
the
is
age is?
probably the best piece of advice
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you
Absolutely.
could possibly give to your generation across the board.
I think
Finish.
it's the best thing to do, because in Gib now it's hard to live. Like, I was looking at apartments, and I go food shopping for my mum. It's £10 for a thing of butter.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It is
So
ridiculous.
it's the first thing me and my mum looked at: what could set me up, what could give me a good pension, what I could then expand into the future, rather than just staying in that one area of nursing.
That is incredible.
I want to. Well done to your mum.
Well done
your
to
mum.
you. Can I ask how old your granny is?
My
it rude, or do you not know?
She's 67.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's
Going
still
on
working.
70 maybe, I'm not too sure.
On her feet,
Yeah.
long hours,
Yeah.
weekends,
Yeah,
still working.
I think she has Sunday off and that's it.
That is incredible.
But
That
that's
is
my
so
children's
sad.
grandmother is the same, owns a salon.
Yeah.
Right, independently owned, and the same thing, and she's in her 70s.
Wow.
But I think it's also very important because a lot of your generation and maybe a bit older than you, you're all about the influencing
Yeah.
and self sort of employed in a different way that
Yeah.
older generations have been
Most of
self-employed.
my family are self-employed. Like my mum owns an aesthetics company. My
Yeah.
dad owns his own building. They're all self-employed. So that's
very important
because she knows
to-
how it is. That's what she pushed me to do.
Your mother is full of good advice, and I'm so glad that you have listened.
Yeah.
Has anybody else in the crowd ever thought about pensions or seen their grandparents struggling, or has it crossed any of your minds? Has this lady's advice made you think, though? Yeah?
Has it ever been mentioned in school? Does anybody ever talk to you about that at school? See, there's something
See,
missing.
that's a lesson.
It's a
of
lesson
life
that should be in school.
mentioned.
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
bring your mum on the show? She sits here.
I think she
and
would
teach us
absolutely
all
love
about
it.
pensions
She
and
would.
investing
She would
and-
say yes straight away.
Sounds like a
put
plan.
the-
Who's your mum?
That's for the next one.
Who's your mum?
Victoria Walker.
I knew it was. I knew, looking at you, I was like, it's Victoria. Yeah.
There's
Think
another
that's my
message
speech.
just come in. I hope I read this correctly. Hello. With the government pension, you cannot live in Gibraltar. It's impossible. You spend your life paying into a private pension. Then when you get to a certain age, we cannot spend it as we have to save it in the debentures. That is another point as well. A lot of people will get their lump sum from a private pension, put it in debentures, and then live off the interest.
Yeah.
And it adds to the pension. They make a little bit, and it probably adds up to about £2,000 a month when you do that kind of thing. But the money that you worked for, again, you can't enjoy.
touch it. No.
You leave it there.
Yeah.
So that we can, wage monthly, which is not much. I'm not sure what he means here, which is not much. So, because Gibraltar, if things don't change and pensions don't go up, being a pensioner is sad in Gib. That's Jonathan. It most certainly is. Oh, Jonathan, I know who you are now. I've seen your TikTok today. You were on the beach. I saw you, Jonathan, on the beach. I love your TikToks. Keep the good work up. Yeah, so really, really interesting, and something has to be done. But I'm so glad that you gave that advice because it is so valuable. And if every young woman thought like you,
And man.
and man, obviously, but mainly women. I'm sorry that we see ourselves in a position where we need it more. You know, you're going to set yourself up for a much better retirement and much happier old age, hopefully. But you've got years to go yet. You just keep putting those pennies in the bank. Right, let's move on to another subject. AI is taking over in so many aspects across the board. But one of them, and that's why I have this youthful, beautiful audience with me, because they can educate me probably more than I can tell you myself. One area that AI is changing is in influencers. They've been a part of our lives for a long time now on social media platforms. They influence, they make a lot of money. Many of them have been caught cheating, using filters and the like, but they still have an influence on our youth, and maybe some of us too. But it looks like their time is up because AI is taking over with models who are influencing as well. Take a look.
Artificial intelligence influencers are a growing industry, with some AI models gaining hundreds of thousands of followers and getting increasingly lucrative sponsorship deals. Aitana is one of the world's most popular AI models, known for her stylish pink hair. The BBC's cyber correspondent Joe Tidy reports.
A photo shoot with no model. She's not late though, she doesn't exist.
Aitana is an AI model. Since she was created around a year ago, she's amassed a big following and is making thousands a month for her Barcelona-based agency.
We intend to always try to make it as similar as what an influencer would do. we take a picture with me in the image and we have to replace it with AI. So we have to play a little bit with lights and shadows to make it as real as possible.
Touch-ups used to take around a day, but now it's a few hours because of how the AI's improved so much. Here's the final product. The studio says they can get thousands of pounds a month for sponsored posts and endorsements with Aitana. Her virtual life is built for her mostly male fans, a key demographic for these AI models. Some find the message they're sending to boys and girls troubling.
I see huge issues with the rise of AI models and influencers. I think they're setting an unrealistic beauty standard that is close enough to being real that a lot of people who follow them don't realize they're not real, especially teenagers, young teen girls.
Aitana is marketed as a fitness-loving woman who lives a healthy lifestyle. She's even been sponsored by nutrition and sports brands. Is there a problem where you're promoting a body image of someone that is, in many ways perfect, and there are some people, some of your followers, that say, I wish I had that body?
In the beginning, we tried to make more curvy models, for example, or more not standardized models, and clients didn't like that. But you can see this everywhere in publicity. Comparing her to the rest of the influencers, she looks the same as the rest.
The agency started creating more models with more diverse looks, including some men too, although apparently marketeers aren't as interested in male AI models. The latest project is for a major car company. The brief is to design an AI model to be the face for an in-car AI voice assistant. Joe Tidy, BBC News.
It's incredibly scary, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, for an untrained eye, you'd actually think she was a real person. I just had a giggle because of they are trying to make more curvaceous models.
Yeah. Trying very hard.
Like they're trying
very
really,
hard.
really hard. You can tell that, don't you? But the dangers associated with this and the influence that it has on young ladies like yourself, promoting this body image of what is deemed perfection when everybody is an individual and there is no perfection. I want to go straight to you, actually. How do you feel about AI models? Just give me a show of hands. Just be honest with yourselves, have you ever been influenced, looked at a TikTok or an Instagram and followed these people and thought, I want to look like her, and it's made you look at yourself and thought, my bum's too big, or I don't like my lips? Have any of you done that? So a few of you have. Can you talk to me about what made you think that? Just if you hand the mic over there. This young lady. What made you look at, what were you watching first and foremost?
I was scrolling through TikTok, and obviously there's a bunch of people that take advantage of AI and take advantage of younger people watching TikTok. So I was scrolling and I found this AI account, and I really thought it was real because it did look really, really real.
Yeah.
And I've been bullied for around 2 years. It was really bad. And I was bullied because I quite thin, I'll admit, and I feel it just like came to my head, and I'm like, I want to be like that model that's on the screen on my phone. And it just really I don't really know.
What did it make you think? That you'd like to do cosmetic surgery, or you would like to have like lip plumping, or what? How did things like that go through your mind?
It definitely made me want to try eat even more.
You wanted to put on weight.
Definitely.
Right.
Because I am naturally skinny, and I get that from my dad and my family. But it's something that's really hard for me because I do get a bunch of comments from people going around, and it's horrible.
What do they tell you, darling?
That I look like a stick or a skeleton,
right.
A twig, horrible things.
So that makes you feel really self-conscious, and it hurts. Words really, really hurt. And I'm so sorry that you went through that. But when you looked at social media and you see all of these perfect bodies, it really is affecting you. You're looking at yourself in the mirror, you're comparing yourself, a standard which is not achievable.
It's not real.
It's not
It's
real.
not real.
No, it's not real.
Yeah.
And I feel like it definitely makes younger people like really bring out like body dysmorphia,
Exactly.
which is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has this happened to anybody else? Somebody else? Tell us about yours. Go on then. Pass the mic down.
I was something similar to her. A couple of years ago, I used to be quite big, and I thought it was a good idea to dye my hair red, so then went ginger, and I was just big and ginger, and I used to get bullied for that. I find it funny now. Like, obviously, back then it was more like, you get me, but now I find it funny because I see what people saw. But it's not just people, it's not just like AI as well, it's like normal people, actual people, they also...
The influencers.
Yeah, 100%. They put themselves out there to be very perfect, and then you see them and you're like, I want to be like that. But again, with insecurities and people bringing them out and things like that, it just makes you very, like, feel very small.
But do you think it's not? I think there's a fault of not just the influencers, but the brands that are promoting them to promote the brand.
Yes.
I mean, they're the ones that are encouraging them to do what they do.
Yeah.
It's like a job.
Yeah.
Well, they're taking away jobs from real people if they've got AI.
According to this Aitana had sponsorship deals with Zara,
Exactly.
Sephora, Victoria's Secret,
my God.
Guess, big sports supplements, and Amazon.
Yeah.
But
Don't you think that's false advertising?
But big
Because your
sports
clothes,
supplements.
No, but,
Like, she's not taking
no,
supplements.
but
She's not
if a clothing
She's
brand,
not even wearing the clothes.
if that's what I mean, that's false advertising. Because if a
Completely.
clothing brand is promoting an article of clothing that's not real, then that's false advertising.
But I think when you're talking about, you see these, that they do present perfection, don't they?
Yeah.
I think you probably all know in the back of your mind, they've probably filmed that 20 times to get that perfect look.
100%.
Or taken 40 selfies, 100 selfies to get the
Right,
perfect
but-
selfie. But in that moment, when you're looking at it, that doesn't matter, does it?
No.
No.
I just think this is all adding to the sort of more insular nature of mankind is kind of getting to that. I think since COVID, you've got the rise of social media, you've got the rise in a lot of artificial intelligence, artificial advertising. Everything feels very artificial, and it just draws, I think, young people more than
but I think
older
there's
people
also
into their phone and into
a
their...
lot of information out there. When I was younger, it was all about runway models. Okay, runway models were meant to be pretty much malnourished. Okay, and everybody was the same thing. Everybody was okay, to be a model, I have to be very, very thin. But now more people are savvy. More people know that that's not the way it has to. That's not the way it goes.
But it's kind of gone back to that. I was
I
reading
don't
this
think so.
article
Recently, I don't
that
see it.
says that the last 2 years maybe the trend
Thin is
is going back into that.
But how is that
1990s
possible when there's
sort of-
supposed to be an evolution of young people to know?
Because it's all fake now. If it's a lot
Yeah,
of-
but they know it's fake.
But I think
Yeah,
when
but-
you're at home and you're scrolling,
But I think
and
it
there's no
hones
turn off.
into a
It's a
place
place
in
in
your
your head.
brain
Yeah.
where even though you know it's fake, you still lust after that look. Let me just ask you, because you mentioned that you had red hair and that you were bigger and you weren't comfortable in your own skin, but you're slim now. So did the bullying and the influencing online, did that make you do something drastic?
It's 50-50. I think I did it more for myself than I did it for other people, but I felt in a way I need to change to fit into what people like girls my age nowadays, like, they look like they're skinny, they're pretty, and they're very out there. I wanted to be like that, so I did it. Not only did I do it for myself, I did it to stop the bullying and all of those things. So
You shouldn't be made to feel that pressure at all. You should be happy with who you are, bunta.
I think there is another side. There are other influencers out there who are all very body positive in different sizes, and I see them all the time. I think the problem is when
The
you
algorithm,
the
though.
algorithm. That's it. The algorithm will bring you back if that's what you're looking at.
Right.
Which
And
is
it
what's
gets
feeding
it.
the addiction. The minute you
Yeah.
look at 2 or 3 of them, they're going to send you more and
Yeah,
more and more
and
until
more.
your
That's
brain
it.
is
Until you only-
overloaded with
till
these
you're only
images.
seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very sad. Anybody else had a problem like that? Over here, this lady in the lovely pink ruffle.
the thing is, AI, it takes over more things. It takes over relationships. It ruins relationships. It ruins
That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Why, in your view, does it ruin relationships?
because there's these apps like ChatGPT. It makes fake photos. Like, you say, make a girl be with this guy, and it just it just does it.
Wow.
And it's
it's
really
true.
realistic.
But people are
and
doing that?
Yeah.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
takes over people's relationships and also education. People use ChatGPT to give them answers, to help them with their coursework, to help them with their homework.
Yeah.
And
So it's affecting young people on all levels, not just physically.
yeah.
Yeah. I have a friend who's our age who has used ChatGPT like a counsellor, which terrified me
like a
when she said
counsellor.
it. A counsellor, somebody who to
Yeah,
have
no,
the-
I know.
but I mean not
No,
depends
but I
on-
mean,
but
like-
to have therapy.
Yes, have
I'm not
therapy,
kidding
yeah.
you.
And I know somebody
Yeah.
who uses it as a doctor, so they will sit and they will put in
It's-
all their
it's worse than, like-
symptoms in,
So
and
dangerous.
then if something's not right,
So
they'll be
dangerous.
like, okay, but now tailor it this way, and now this and that.
That
and
Well, then there
figure
should be
out
So
no
scary.
waiting at the A&E then.
But the other thing that we forget as well is these two people behind the AI model. Did
Yeah.
you notice them?
Yeah.
Just ordinary
people, yeah.
run-of-the-mill couple. They are putting their boots on with the money that they're getting from doing something, which is deceptive at the end of the day.
€10,000 a month.
And there you go. 10,000 euros a month. And then I look at young people and I see that Gibraltar doesn't have doctors and doesn't have engineers and doesn't have this and doesn't have that. And they're all saying, I want to be a TikTok creator or a content provider or all of this nonsense. And it's like feeding our youth with the hope that they can make hundreds and thousands by doing something online, which actually morally 9 times out of 10 isn't good.
But if you're an influencer, do you get a pension?
You won't need a pension.
You won't need a pension. You'll have millions in the bank. You'll be all right.
Not if you spend it all.
Yeah. Before we go to the second part, and I talk to you ladies more about, I've got lots of messages for you.
Ooh.
So, hi guys, Tyler's mum here. The mischief contestant in the pink dress with the bow. Well done, darling. I'm glad you listened to my advice regarding work, savings and pensions. I'm proud of you. And absolutely, I'll come join you guys in the powder room. Victoria, you are very welcome anytime here at the powder room. My gosh, there is a brain there for sure.
Yes.
I like-minded, good thinker.
You need to tap
nice
into
to
that.
meet you, Victoria. Hang on, I've got some more.
No AI pension advice here.
I'm going to leave some of those for... Oh, Tyler, you got another message here from your sister, little sister Arabella. Arabella is so proud of you and has been cheering you on every step of the way. We love you. Good luck to all the girls, Victoria and Jeremy. And there's a few others that want to ask questions of you, but I'm going to leave that to the second half. So going back to you girls, is there anybody else who has had a negative, influences that have had a negative impact? Push that's it. Brilliant, up there. Tell me about it.
So when I was in year 7, I just started Westside. I had bad teeth, and I got bullied every single day.
You had what, sorry?
My teeth.
Oh, bad teeth.
I had like 3 rows
Crooked?
of teeth. Like I had 3 rows of teeth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And every single day I'd get called 3 teeth, shark teeth, everything.
Right.
I got to a point I didn't want to go to school. I was telling my mom, like, I'm not going to school. It was embarrassing for me. I got a dentist appointment. I fixed my teeth. No one said anything else.
Yeah.
Thank God. And then also on my nose.
What's wrong with
So
your
then
nose?
it started on your nose.
My nose was wonky, and I was really insecure about it. So I got filler to fix it.
You got filler to give the illusion that it was straighter, no?
Yeah, because it was like every day that someone was telling me, your nose is wonky, your nose is... I was like...
How old are you, darling?
17
You're 17, and you did this procedure when?
this year.
This year. That's very sad.
Yeah.
It is very sad.
Do you think
that
the
resort to
the
that.
bullying is more because people are seeing perfection online and they...
I think
and
it
they're,
is.
They're comparing you to...
Or maybe they have a bigger problem at home and they just want to express it to someone else
Yeah,
to
sometimes that's the case,
get
isn't
the...
it, bullying?
This bullying thing, it seems to be quite a thing, no, in Jib?
Yeah.
It's happening a lot.
Oh, wow, they're all nodding. Look.
Yeah, they're all nodding.
Terrifying, yeah.
That is very, very sad that that's happening. And this is with other girls in comprehensive. Now that you've joined the 2 schools, it's not coming from the boys. No,
It's,
not really?
it's both.
Oof. Okay. mainly.
Just mainly the girls.
No, it's both.
Oh, it's both. It's both. Do you feel like you are at a dead end with having to report it or do something about it? You don't know where to turn?
I reported it like from year 7 to year 9 till I got my braces. My mum, me, my dad, everyone has reported it to school, and school didn't do anything.
Nothing.
They sent them in, they told them something. The next day, boys are boys, girls are girls, and they're going to do it again. Then
Right.
it doesn't make an effect on them with the teacher telling them something. They're going to do it anyway.
Are the boys being influenced by social media and the unreal expectation of what a girl is like?
Because boys
media?
our age, I think girls are more mature than boys. Like, for example, a 17-year-old girl and a 17-year-old boy. The 17-year-old boy is going to be less mature because of the friends and the tonterias, and the girls who are more mature, realistically.
But is that also how we've been conditioned from a young age? That girls are meant to be
It's proven that they are anyway.
But I think part of it's social.
I'm sorry, ladies,
different
but we
subject.
have to go for a very quick break. We've got so embroiled in this one, and I want to break by a message from Jonathan. They have to see my video on TikTok. No AI, it's me, fat and eating nice cakes. Natural.
That's the way to live, Jonathan.
Thanks for that, Jonathan. We'll be back after this very short break. Welcome back. Well, that was a really long first half, but these girls have been absolutely amazing chatting with us and sharing some very difficult stories, actually. So we want to ask them a few questions because people have been writing in. Any of you can answer, or a few of you, whichever way you want to do it. Okay, so let me see. Jihan, I think I've said correctly, wants to know what's one piece of advice you'd give someone who wants to start modelling? There we go. We can have the mic over here in the corner. What's the one piece of advice you would give someone who wants to start modelling?
Have confidence in yourself.
Where are we? Oh, over there. Which you have to build. Confidence isn't given to you just like that. It comes doing a series of things. No, what would you say is something that has given you more confidence? Definitely speaking publicly tonight.
Definitely the thought of being able to like speak out and having my thoughts being open and just like showing other people that they can do it as well.
Yeah.
So even though like any body type can do it, you don't have to be pretty, you don't have to be skinny, you don't have to be whatever you've seen online. You just have to be confident and know what you're worth, definitely. And I think the thought of me being able to speak out on a bunch of things, like, for example, bullying, Help Me Lemon Africa is definitely one thing as well.
Very good.
And another charity that I love personally is RIC, the research of childhood cancer, because I just think if I speak out more, then other people can like pop in and help a bit.
Excellent. Yes, absolutely. And the lady behind you, she wanted to give her opinion.
One thing I would say is don't think about it too much. It's a step out of your comfort zone maybe, but it's a really, really nice journey. I've done it before and I've come back because I loved it so much. You meet really nice people, you have a summer of a lifetime. You may be in a studio doing routines, but it's good. It's like spending time with people that at the end of the journey you're going to call your family.
Excellent. Okay, and another person here, Sienna. That's my granddaughter's name. Sienna, such a lovely name. Has joining Miss Teen made you feel more confident? Is that what I just asked you, no? Okay, this one. Got to find them in the scheme of things. Hang on a minute, darling. Oh yeah, that was, yeah. Has joining Miss Teen made you feel more confident as a person? I think we've kind of covered that it does, but is it the Miss Teen that's made you feel more confident? Listen, Kelvin is an incredible, Kelvin. I did it again, didn't I? I did it, I told you I would. He is an incredible director and founder of these beauty contestants. I have to be honest, I've never been a fan of beauty contestants, and it's a very debatable subject. But I've researched a lot, and I do find that abroad it's much tougher than it is in Gib, on the negative side, I mean. But Gibraltar has done a really, really good job, and I have had deep and meaningfuls with him about how he protects young women of this generation, which are very, very important. Let's talk to you a minute. And let's reiterate, because we were talking about the Miss Teens behind you just before we started. Yeah. One is a pre-teen, which I didn't quite understand because I thought that meant before 13, but it's not, it's before 16. And they do not parade in swimsuits. There's a lot of little things like this that you implement to protect the girls.
Yeah, that's correct. In internationals, we have the pre-teens, which is Mariam. She represented Gibraltar last year, and her category is aged 14 to 16. They removed the swimsuit for that age, and they wear sportswear. And then we have the 16 to 19, which are the teens. Kaylee and Jamila was petite, which is just because of the height. Which actually they all did really well in internationals this year. They all brought home awards, so that was amazing.
Excellent. So when is this contest taking? Let's talk a little bit about the girls here and what they're doing and when they'll do it.
So the final of Miss Teen Gibraltar is on Saturday, the 8th of August, at the Alameda Open Air Theatre. Tickets are not available for the public because there's 18 girls and they've sold out tickets in minutes.
With the family and friends?
Yes.
And they all...
Yeah, they can't buy the tickets that they want to buy. We've had to put a limit because of obviously there's 18 contestants. So we are going live on YouTube as every year professionally with Jib Media, and last year there was 8,000 people watching it live. So hopefully we reach that amount.
8,000 people were watching it live.
Yeah, because obviously internationally, all of my national directors or my friends internationally. They all watch it, all other contestants from around the world watch it. So it's a very known show internationally as well.
That's impressive. Yeah. So what do the winners do? Because I know you have the girls travelling abroad and getting involved in other contests, and they really do get a feel for very early on in the contest.
So the three winners, one winner for each category, pre-teen, petite and teen. They'll represent Gibraltar next February in Panama. So last year we went to Nicaragua with them three, and this year we'll be going to Panama.
Very nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
what an opportunity.
You need chaperones.
Yeah, you're welcome to come. Obviously, because it's a teen show, a minimum of 2 adults per contestants have to travel with them.
Right.
So it has to be a parent or guardian because obviously they're teens. And security-wise, it's amazing. The national directors are amazing, and the experience that they have internationally, they can tell you themselves. It's amazing. And yeah, last year she got the best interview award over 70 contestants.
Yay!
She was on the top. Haley was on the top 10 and also won the best interview. And Mariam was first runner-up. She didn't win the crown for 2 points. So. Over 70 countries taking part, so we do work very hard with the girls in Gibraltar before they leave, but obviously that shows, the hard work shows when we're there internationally. And
let's not put down the hard work that you get stuck in with. And at the end of the day, how are you funding this?
Well, we've did bingos because obviously sponsors are.
There's no government sponsor anymore.
So we did fundraiser bingos outside Morrison's, and the help of family and friends.
That's
with
amazing.
the help, obviously, as well. They each get £500 towards if they win, they get £500 towards the trip. They can use it for flights or the entry fee. So and then with the fundraising, we did it.
It's a great opportunity, though, for you, and that really boosts your confidence. There's nothing quite like travelling abroad to boost your confidence and seeing other people and how they live, and cultures abroad as well. How do you find when you take the girls? How do you find the organisation and the care of the girls in contests abroad?
As I said before, security and the care of the contestants there. Like the contestants cannot leave the hotel by themselves. They're always with the chaperones in the resort or wherever it's taking place. Directors have to be present all the time. As I said, parents or guardians have to be present as well. And like security-wise, it's
They do a
amazing.
good job.
I've been doing
You girls
teen
feel
pageants
safe, no?
for 16 years, and they're all the same age. As I said, over 70 contestants taking part. And it's more like they do parties, evening parties, but it's all in the resort. Like they don't. And if we take the girls, they take the girls to, like this year in Nicaragua, we went to visit Managua, León, and some cities within Nicaragua.
Right.
Parents had to come
Yeah.
with the contestants. Like they wouldn't.
That's a good thing. I
They're
mean, they're
underage,
still
so
underage.
obviously,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Somebody asks here. Let me see. Chanel. What's Miss Preteen's biggest achievement since she became Miss Preteen? What's your biggest achievement?
Well, to be honest with you, before being crowned Miss Teen, I didn't have that much confidence. My friends and family always tell me, like, to enter Miss Teen, enter Miss Teen. I'm like, no, que vergüenza. But now I don't have vergüenza de nada. Like,
Muy bien.
to be honest, after being in Nicaragua, coming first runner-up, being on the stage, like, to be honest, when you get nervous before going on the stage, I'd be, like, excited to go on the stage. Like, I'd have adrenaline of, like, excitement. And I'd be like, okay, finally going on the stage. And obviously, as I reached top 6, I got asked a question as an interview on stage. And I was really, really nervous. But once I was talking, I was going with the flow. I was like, vale. I was... To be honest, my confidence and my ego has boosted, but not in a bad way, in a good way.
Did you fall into Janito for your interview?
Well, actually, for my interview, it also happened to me here in Gibraltar. I spoke Janito and I was like, "Oh, sorry, like I didn't mean to." And they were like, "It's fine, don't worry, don't worry."
That's
but, like,
good. Well, it's
good,
part
to
of
be
who you
honest,
are.
yeah.
That's how we talk, no? Most of the time. Oh, well, that's really good. Okay, I've got another question. They're coming in thick and fast. Julianne, what were they most apprehensive about before entering? What were your concerns and worries?
To be honest, people saying stuff about me, like
Right.
vergüenza, this
Social media again?
Yeah. And
backlash.
To be honest with you, when you can ask Kelvin himself, like when we used to take pictures, I'm like, Kelvin, I don't like this picture. I don't like it. He's like, you come out really nice. I'm like, no, I don't like it. People are gonna say stuff about the picture.
Right.
Like I would see something, like for example, be like my eyes like that, no? And they would be like, no, what are you saying? Like I would focus on the picture too much. But honestly, when it was coming towards the end, and when I was in Nicaragua, I didn't care. Like,
good.
I was happy with whatever picture.
You need to let it go.
I grew.
Kelvin, back to you, because you are aware of many instances where social media has become an issue with the girls and really affected how their journey through the contest and all the rest of it, which should be all very enjoyable. Give us some examples, without names, obviously, of the kind of things that you've come up against.
Yeah, I always tell the girls, obviously, to not focus on social media, because obviously we post photos. Like we've recently done the official photo shoots. The photos will be coming out soon, and I've already told them, don't focus on comments, because obviously there's people out there that my point of view is it's mostly girls that comment on the girls' photos, like, oh my God, this girl shouldn't be there, she's overweight. And for me, my point of view is that they want to be there, but because they don't have the, how do you say it nicely, like the confidence.
We'll use that word
else,
again.
But, to be there, that's when they maybe target these beautiful contestants, because as I always say, they're all beautiful in their own ways. Everyone is different.
Yeah.
And internationally, in some even team pageants and Miss pageants, you have to do a casting to sign up. So they will only accept tall girls, skinny girls, this type of look. But in my pageants in Gibraltar, Miss Teen or Miss Gibraltar, anyone can sign up. And it's not all about beauty. We've had people in the past saying, but why didn't she win? She was la más guapa. It's not all about beauty. They have a judge's interview the day before. And there's way more the beauty with a purpose, the charity work. There's more than just how you look on a photo.
Además,
or on
who
stage.
decides lo que es guapura?
Exactly.
Who, I don't get
Exactly.
it.
And when you see the like I've been a judge before in international pageants. There's not normally it's 5 or 6 judges. You can see you like if you 4 would be a panel, you would like someone different because obviously everyone has a different opinion, and so it's just then adding the points up, and the 3 with the highest scores are the ones who are determined as winners.
Yeah.
But there's always people who don't agree because they think, oh, la más guapa no ha ganado.
Funnily enough, a lot of it is down to that X factor. It's about the charisma. So it's not just about how you look, it's how you carry yourself.
Yeah, you can be very beautiful but not have a character and walk into a judge's interview and not speak.
Yeah, true. You've been awarded 3 years for the Miss Gibraltar contest. We've got some clips that we can play in the background, actually, of another very successful show that you did for last year's contest. Now, we've got the closing dates for Miss Gib is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
How's it going?
So it's not going very well.
Oh, dear.
We've been recruiting contestants for over a month now. And last time I checked, I think it was yesterday, there was only two sign-ups. So closing date has to be tomorrow. We can't expand it anymore because obviously we need the time from now till October to prepare everything.
Right.
So if no one else signs up, we'll have to see if we call it a cancel, or which I think would be a shame because obviously last year we celebrated the 60th anniversary, and I think we can't just leave it there. But I don't know what's happening. It's the difference from having to stop entries for Miss Teen, because I get more than 18 contestants. This year I think it was about 29, but I had to stop it to the first 18 because we don't have a venue for more than 18 contestants. And Miss Gibraltar, I don't know if Julia's put it very high because Julia reigning Miss
The standard.
Miss
No,
Gibraltar,
she said
she's doing so well with
she has
everything.
done. I asked you to bring her on. Unfortunately, she's working, doing her Miss Gibraltar
She's working
thing.
for Miss World, yeah. Because
but I did read up on the things that she's doing, and it is outstanding
and
what
that's
that girl's
what we want
achieved.
to show people, that it's not about the beauty.
Yeah.
Like Julia's doing very well with her beauty with a purpose. We are this Friday. We are flying both of us to Ghana again.
Yeah.
With the Help Middle Africa charity. We went in October. We're flying again this Friday, because obviously her from Beauty with a Purpose is childhood cancer because of her late sister, and she's working with this 8-year-old kid in Ghana that's suffering from cancer at the moment. She's been raising funds for him because obviously there's no, it's not funded by government in Ghana. Everything has to be private, and they were just going to let him die. So obviously she's working really hard, and now she's going back on Friday. I'm going with the project to finish the school, but she's going to be focusing on Selassie, which is this 8-year-old boy, and helping him because he starts treatment this week. So
They gave her an award there, didn't they?
she was
very
named,
prestigious award.
Mama Zomelo II, which is translated to Project Queen after Luis Varela, because obviously this is founded by Luis Varela. She's been doing amazing.
Yeah.
But Julia chose to implement beauty within her Beauty with a Purpose to help in Africa this year, apart from the childhood cancer that she's doing. And she did amazing, and she's been constantly like non-stop with her charity work, which is amazing. And what we want to show out that it's not all about how you look on stage or the beauty. There's way more behind it, and she's been recognized by the Miss World organizers. Have been messaging saying keep it up, she's doing amazing, and they keep sharing her story into their page, which is
because
also amazing.
she's yet to compete in Miss World. It hasn't happened yet.
We're going to Vietnam next month, actually in August. She's going beginning of August. I'm going for the final week, And yeah, fingers crossed that she does well.
So if you cancel this Miss Jib, that's kind of historic. I don't think we've ever cancelled before. I don't remember.
The only time that it got cancelled was, well, not cancelled, they just didn't do it because of COVID, so they just crowned the previous year's first princess.
Yeah.
I don't know what would happen because that's now up to government. I'm just here to obviously produce the show and work with the winners.
Right.
I don't know what they would do, but obviously we don't want it to stop. We have to continue with the legacy because I think it's something, it's the event of the year for Gibraltar. Even if you like it or not, or if you agree with pageants or not, because we do get loads of negative comments about pageants, but then everyone watches it. Because how do you know about the pageant if you didn't watch it last night? Like the day before, oh my God, the girls in it. Yeah, but you watched it because they're talking about it. So even if it's negative or positive, everyone watches it. And I think everyone out there, grannies, mothers, boyfriends, work colleagues, if you have someone the age of 17 to 26, just tell them to go ahead, sign up for Miss Gibraltar, and 100% it's going to be one of the best experiences they live.
I wonder whether maybe it has something to do with so many young women going to uni. Que te coges a da?
La edad and the date, because obviously we've always done it in summer, and we've had contestants that are in university but spend the summer in Gibraltar. But because of Miss World, we've had to change it to October. Those girls can't sign up.
Possibly it.
Like Kaylee would probably have signed up, but she's going to university in September. And I encourage the girls. I've had girls telling me, I'm thinking of having a gap here and enter Miss Gibraltar, and I always encourage no. Studies first, and then Miss Gibraltar.
You are so good. Well, Mina, it's the end of the programme, girls. I am so grateful that you came up and shared your stories with us, and I wish you the best. Because at the end of the day, Julia is a great example as to what you can achieve and the good that you can do. And that is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. But he's also right. Don't leave your studies behind, because that is also important. And get yourself a pension. Oh, and one last message before we go from Jonathan and to you. Ask Kelvin if I can go with them and I can take the bottles of water, food catering, clean the stage and all the rest of it.
He can come. We can't fund it because it's hard to fund it ourselves, but if he wants to pay for it himself, he can come with us, obviously. And maybe do our social media content.
Okay, folks. Well, it's been lovely having you. Like I said, thank you, ladies, for joining us and your opinions. It is the end of the evening. We will be back again next week, same time, same place. And thanks for joining us. Good night.
The